Asteya, non-stealing, is the third yama and comes after ahimsa, that is non-harming. And when it comes to non-stealing, we just think about not taking money from someone or anything else for that matter. But my friends, asteya goes far beyond than this. So in this video, we will go on a bit deeper to understand the true meaning of asteya. Friends, in fact, the deeper sense can be holding, accumulating, coveting, items that are unnecessary or utilizing more resources than necessary, such as letting the faucet run while you brush your teeth, or using the natural resources more than required. But we can go deeper still. Consider the act of stealing time. Sometimes I am late for my private yoga teaching session. Even if I am 5 minutes late, I have stolen the time of my student. First, an apology of being late. Even 99% of the time, my student is late, but that does not give you the permission of being late. As we begin to contemplate asteya on different levels, we can see just how this yama applies to so many different areas of yoga and life. Asteya, it's a Sanskrit word. It is a beautiful Sanskrit word that literally means non-stealing. This is a Sanskrit compound word consisting of and steya. So steya is also a Sanskrit term denoting stealing. But when you add a or combined with the term steya, it converts into its opposite, meaning as non-stealing. Asteya is there in Jainism too. All religions of the world perceive asteya as its core teaching. Under Jainism, it is one of the main vows along with Satya, Ahimsa, Aparigraha, and Brahmacharya. Jainism is one of the religions where the principles of non-stealing sustains paramount importance. All Tirthankaras, including Lord Mahavira, prominently stressed this important vow to follow in life. In Hinduism, the practice of it is a higher moral obligation. In Buddhism, this precept has to be practiced by the followers in a bit difficult way. In Christianity, under the 8 commandments of the Bible, any kind of stealing is strictly prohibited. Asteya in daily life to steal natural resources like water, air, mineral, fauna, and flora are precious gifts bestowed upon us by Mother Nature. However, we are continuously used to waste the water, food, energy, etc., without considering the fact that what will be left for our next generations. Such an act is also against the very principles of asteya. The stealing of others' hard work is also contrary to this very principle. If you take work from others and don't pay for their hard work, it is also against the principles of it. We all know that what stealing is, but now let's define covetousness. Covetousness could be defined as owning something mentally and emotionally, but not actually owning physically. Coveting is desiring something that are not your own. Coveting leads to jealousy and then to stealing. Asteya on mat. On the mat, We can practice asteya by not grasping for poses that are not within our capability. We can practice asteya in a group class by being mindfulness of the personal space of others. We can practice asteya by not being late to class or not interrupting when our teacher is speaking or demonstrating a posture. Giving back. If we use an idea of a co-workers, we need to give them credit. When we take off the fruits of the earth at every meal, a moment of recognition and gratitude is in order, followed by finding ways to give back to our planet. We can replenish what we have taken by planting trees, offering breadcrumbs to the birds, composting, recycling in whatever way we can, and taking no more than we need. In today's world, greed, a form of stealing, we are seeing the result as our forests dwindle, the poor starve, the skies pollute, and our waters clog with waste and toxins. We may not be even aware of being greedy because its seeds are so subtly planted every day through the media, enticing us to constantly desire and take more and more. From the air we breathe to the cars we drive, most of us consume more than we nurture the earth. It is essential that asteya be a part of our daily practice. For if we do not give back and learn to be content with what we have, we slowly and steadily deplete the planet for which all beings suffer. Conscious choices. Part of the practice involves becoming more conscious of the product we buy. Do the companies we support take from the earth responsibly, replenishing what they use? Are they paying fair wages or stealing a fair living from their workers and their families? Do they treat animals with kindness and respect? Or are they robbing beings of the right to a decent life? When we take the time to uncover the practices of corporations, we support with our currency and support only those that return to the planet and the community as much as they take. We practice asteya. Swami Sachidanand says that buying more than we need is actually stealing things, but not letting others use them. He states, for example, that if one person has 50 garments in his closet and his neighbor has none, the first person is stealing the second's usage. Buying more than we need also raises prices for the poor who truly needs these goods and can't afford them. To practice asteya fully, we must consider how our actions, especially our purchases, affect others. In the moment where we feel to buy something, we can ask ourselves a few simple questions. Is this something I really need? Am I buying it to appease, soothe, or repress an emotion I'm experiencing? Will I truly use and appreciate this item? When we get to the roots of our fears and work to build our security inside ourselves by accepting who we are and appreciating the abundance of what we have, we can overcome the tendency to compensate through overconsumption. Generosity, the heart of asteya. As we explore Asteya deeper, we realize that it's not enough to not steal. Generosity is the heart of Asteya. We give because of the joy of giving, not just in order to receive what we want. There is a quote by Theodore Roosevelt related to Asteya that I often share with my students. He says, comparison is the thief of joy. I think our tendency to compare ourselves to others is one of the biggest reasons we often feel a sense or a lack or not enough in our lives. Or sometimes comparison can lead to a sense of arrogance and entitlement. Both these conditions can lead us to feel justified in taking what isn't rightfully ours. But it's these underlying attitudes of not enough or entitlement that we need to explore deeper. So let's go back to the ancient text of Patanjali Yoga Sutras and see how Asteya is described. In chapter 2, verse number 37 tells us the Yoga Sutra of Patanjali, that is, Asteya Pratishtayam Sarvaratno Upasthanam, teaches us that to one established in Asteya, all wealth comes. That is chapter number 2, verse number 37. This is not intended to be translated literally. Our banks won't suddenly double when we no longer engage in any form of stealing. If we learn not to steal in any form, we will realize that all we need comes to us naturally, and most of us have enough. When grounded in non-stealing, the yogi becomes aware of all kinds of treasures in their vicinity. So, what are these treasures? The answer lies within the deeper question of what do we as human beings identify with? Am I just this body and mind with these crazy thoughts? Or perhaps am I something more? Lucky for us, yoga philosophy is interested in answering these questions. Who am I? And where did I come from? And more importantly, where am I going? What will make me truly happy? Yoga teaches that we are indeed something more than this body and mind. That the essence of who we are is pure energy, formless, eternal, and that our true nature is whole and complete. So, going back to the sutra verse, when we are grounded in non stealing, we are not distracted by all the shiny objects out there. And we start to see the real treasures in our vicinity, the treasures that have been here the whole time: unity with other beings, playfulness, creativity, love, joy, and deep contentment. These things aren't gained by taking or accumulating external things. They come from within. And as we cultivate a relationship with our true selves, we gain the experience of these treasures that aren't just going to turn to dust in a few years. If we were able to staunchly abide by it, there would be no poverty, no war, and no misery in the world. And in the contrary, we will live in peace and harmony. Stealing also has various layers, like an onion, which, when peeled, deeper and deeper layers are revealed until we reach the heart, the root of stealing, which is in the mind. The most obvious one is to take something which is not ours, like removing money, material, goods from a store, fruit from orchards, without asking first, steal someone else's time by being late to an appointment, or take more of their time than necessary. Steal energy, happiness, blackmail someone's feeling, steal another's romantic partner, work position, intellectual property. It is amazing how many yogis present through the media ideas, quotes, and articles that are not theirs without mentioning the author. Another form of stealing is mental stealing. In that case, our mind is flooded by the desires to steal something, but we don't do it. But we don't do it out of fear of punishment or shame if we get caught. But the desire to steal is in our mind. That which we do not realize is that abundance is not related to the accumulation of commodities or to usurping things, but to keeping the channel of flow open by offering and receiving. In reality, the more we offer, whether it's our services, knowledge, time, goods, the more we receive. In the next video, we will discuss about brahmacharya and what does it really mean. Till then, take care, keep smiling. Namaste.